Awakening Your Everyday Wisdom, Mind Control, Part B. This part of the video is information about how you can avoid being controlled and ways to access your everyday wisdom. If you didn't catch Part A, you might want to go back and take a look at it. It's kind of the case I was building by saying we are subjected to mind control every day. We need to be aware of it. And so now I'm saying, here's what you can do about it. My first suggestion is to identify the messages and the stimulation that you receive in your daily life, especially through the media. So this is a reflection, it's a practice of taking a look at what's coming in. And there's a lot of stuff coming in all the time, but putting on the brakes and saying, wait a minute, now what was the meaning behind that? And do I agree with that? And what's the opposite viewpoint on that? Just to broaden your ability to analyze the information that's coming to you. Even this video, analyze it. Say, oh, is she being straight here? Question everything. That's all I can say. I'll give you an example of when I started questioning one thing. I like to watch documentaries, and so I was watching quite a few documentaries on nature. About maybe a year and a half ago, I started getting this disgusting feeling because these shows would be so much about survival, struggle, death, competition, and they would show the kill scenes, like this cheetah chasing down this baby deer, and the scene would be like 10 minutes long, real fast-paced music, hearts pumping kind of thing. And I'm like, do I have to watch 10 minutes of this? I mean, when I was a kid, it was like 20 seconds of that. And then they show the ripping and the tearing of flesh and the dripping of blood. And I'm like, gosh, how much of that do I need to watch? And I made a conscious decision that I will not watch sensationalized nature shows anymore. And so if I see that a show's going in that direction, I turn it off. I used to watch a lot of those on Netflix and Amazon Prime. I'm switching over to YouTube. I find that a lot of the nature shows on YouTube are less sensationalized, and they're more about information, more about nature, which is what I'm seeking. So anyhow, I guess it's a plug for YouTube, but that's where I go now. Just a personal example of questioning the input that we're getting. Another suggestion I have is check out Byron Katie's work. She's got a book and some tapes on loving what is. And part of her reflection practice is to ask 4 questions. 1, is this thought true? 2, can I be absolutely sure that it's true without a doubt? 3, how do I react when I believe this thought? So you want to look at your responses, positive, negative. Do you feel good? Do you feel trapped? What kind of emotional response do you have? And who would I be without this thought? So if you are subject to mind control and you ask that question, it could be very liberating for you. It could put you in touch with your authentic self. And that's a very powerful part of you. So compare sources of information. If you only go to one source of information over and over, you could be easily manipulated if that source goes bad, let's say. But if you get a broader perspective, look at things from multiple angles, and then decide what you think and believe, you're a little safer, I think, in not subjecting yourself to somebody's desires. So my fourth suggestion is be smart about who and what you allow into your private life. A couple things you can do. Don't answer calls from robocalls. Yeah, get those all the time. What I do when I get a robocall is I instantly click block this caller on my phone. I don't know how well it works, but it makes me feel like at least I'm having some control. Also, you can put your number on the Do Not Call Registry. I think that it's become fairly ineffective with all the artificial intelligence in charge of placing these calls, but it might help a little bit. Block your video cams and other ways that outsiders can see into your home. I think on our smart TVs, there's little cameras. You might want to block those. Be very selective about what you post on social media. Once it's out there for everybody. And ask yourself if you really, really want or need something before you buy it. So you're not just doing the knee-jerk response and going out and buying whatever the advertisers are pushing. Do you remember how many people got in fistfights over Cabbage Patch dolls when they came out? And there have been some other things that people are knocking each other over the head to make sure that they get one of them. That's pretty powerful advertising to make people do that, but it happens. And frequently change your usernames, your passwords, your PINs, just to make sure that you're not getting tagged and that they're not being used to access your information. Somebody once told me that if a unscrupulous party has only your email, they can find your email address. They can find out all kinds of stuff about you. So that was a little disconcerting. And use mind control techniques. This is my seventh and last suggestion. Use these techniques to better your life. Your brain is very powerful. Your mind is very powerful. Use it. Don't let other people use it to manipulate you. You can practice your own calming techniques so that you can think clearly. You can practice your own ways of focusing your mind so you can hold your attention on what you want to focus on. And you can use some of those programs that I mentioned earlier. There are lots of things that you can do. The key to this is watch your alcohol and drug consumption. If you are ingesting, say, on a regular basis, you're even more of a target because you're not thinking with all of your faculties if you are using any kind of mind-altering substance. Now, I'm not talking about medicines that we need, even natural medicines or pharmaceutical medicines. Those are a little different. I think some of the pharmaceutical medicines really screw up our minds, but, that's a judgment call. You got to do your research. When there's a warning on a possible side effect, there have been a few fatal results from using this medicine. Pay very close attention. Ask your doctor about that. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to add to this a little bonus, and that is to use your crystals. And I've got a beautiful quartz crystal here. The reason I'm bringing this up is Quartz crystals are used in so many of our semiconductors, our electronic components, and the reason is they transmit information very clearly, very quickly. So if you want to have an external way of clearing your mind, this is a great one. I recommend it, along with your meditation practice and your substance control. So I wish you well. Thank you. Thank you for listening and participating in this video. If you'd like to chat, here's my email address. Feel free to contact me. I'm here to provide support. And please like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. Blessings.